Hello, creeps.
All right, welcome back to Fright Night Flicks. You're here with Dan and Darren.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's your favorite scary movie?
I can't do it at all. I'm so bad.
All right, today we're reviewing the 2011 Scream 4.
Tell Sidney heads are gonna roll tonight.
How many are there?
You know what? I just looked this up. I think there is 6. I was shocked. They were made not that long ago, the last two. I think it was like 2022 and 2023 or something.
There was a 2022 out there.
Dude, I had no idea. Because we weren't into scary movies then.
We loved Scream, but then we totally dropped off.
We got 2 backlogged.
Life backlogged.
Yeah, for sure.
If you know nothing about Scream 4, well, let me let you know what it's about. Sidney Prescott's return to Woodsboro coincides with that of the Ghostface killer.
Ooh, sounds exciting, Dan. I can't wait to talk about it.
All right, but before we jump in, special thanks to all our members. We appreciate you guys. And if you're interested in becoming a member, what you could get, extra bonus monthly podcast. Every month we do a bonus episode. We let our members pick it out and we put it on there.
Hey, this month we got a banger too, Sleepaway Camp.
That is good.
Okay, I'm going to say this about that movie. Initially, I'm like, what on earth? Enjoyed the watch. But afterwards now, I've digested it.
I told you.
It's crazy. I like it even more.
I know. It grows on you because the first time I watched it, I was like, ugh. Then the second time, I mean, I'm like, it's deeper. It's an onion. It's got some layers to it.
Dude, it is so weird.
So weird, but like one of the best endings. And someone recommended another movie. I think it's Dunk recommended it. Is The Mist. Have you seen The Mist?
Oh, I don't think so.
Another pretty crazy ending.
All right, maybe we'll throw it into the mix for members only.
Anyways, that was a long rant off them. Anyways, other membership stuff, you get our members only after pod where we sit around and talk some nonsense. Like today, we're going to do a Scream quiz. We're going to rank the killers that we have up to this point.
And talk about some upcoming movies we may or may not do on the pod.
Yeah. Anyways, and you also get early access to memberships. Just hit that little join button on YouTube. Check out if any of them pique your fancy.
Yeah.
Meet your fancy.
Whatever. If you enjoy, we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you. So thank you guys. If you don't got the cash, we want to help support the show. Please kindly leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. We have 32 on Apple, 26 on Spotify. I would be elated if we got 50 on one of those. So,
yeah, absolutely. We're far ways, though.
Far ways.
We'll get there, guys. We will.
So, Scream 4, directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson. Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it a 60%, audience gave it a 57%. So, overall, decent.
Initial impressions?
Let's go.
Right off the rip, you have it there, too. This intro was awesome. Great way to start it. We'll get into it in a minute. And I like the whole idea of what they did. So if you guys don't know, which we have thought about this in our initial impression, we probably should tell what the movie is about.
Probably.
Yeah. This one now, we're going back to Woodsboro. We still have our trio with us. We have Dewey, we have Gail, and Sidney. And then we meet a bunch of new cast. So they call this like a requel. It is like a reboot, but it's not.
It's like it's like a remake of the original movie, except you have the cast from the original movie.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I mean, honestly, I think it's really clever.
I think it's clever what they did. I thought the writing was really good. I like the dialogue in this movie. I thought Ghostface was really good in this one.
I like the characters.
Dude, yeah. I will say some of the younger kids, I'm glad. Well, we'll see what happens to them. I didn't think a lot of them had potential to stick around. I wasn't that interested in some.
Darren, most of them are dead.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of glad they went out. But no, I really enjoyed this movie. Dude, there's some brutal kills. There's one in particular where I was like, oh my God.
Well, we went from the last movie where it was like, because of the whole Columbine stuff, they toned everything down. This one, they went much further with it. Dude, honestly, there's some really good kills. In fact, in the intro is probably one of my favorite kills. There's so many little nuggets in this thing. Obviously, flashbacks to Scream 1, but there's like a lot of things going on. There's cameos, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, for like a soft reboot, it was really good. I was pretty impressed.
I'm not going to give away how my total feelings on it, but yeah, overall, it was good.
Why are you afraid to share?
Well, I don't know. I got to wait till the final rating.
You're right. I feel the same way. It's like, I can't give away too much.
Yeah, and I do like the twist, the killer. I thought it was pretty good.
I started to get onto it. Maybe I'll tell you later in my notes how I got there. But as I was going through the movie, I was crossing people off, and I was close to getting it.
Dude, it is so hard to figure out. Let's get into the movie. The movie starts out, 2 girls alone in a house. We learn one has a stalker.
The interesting thing is now we got Facebook going on, right? Times have changed because this is like 10 years since the last movie.
Facebook?
Was this the one where she's that Facebook stalker? A lot of time has passed since the last movie.
Well, this is 2011, so it's still quite a bit old.
It's still older than now, but when was the one before this?
It was 2011. I don't remember.
There's been a gap.
Anyways, these two girls are alone in a house. One has a stalker. Ghostface calls the house and he dares them to open the front door. So one of the girls does walk over to that front door. She opens it up. Nobody's there. But then Ghostface says, I'm not outside. I'm beside you. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, but this went straight into action. This girl gets stabbed in the chest. Then the girl by the front door gets her throat slit by a second Ghostface that swoops in. And I would have to say this is the best double kill of any Ghostface. One, these guys were efficient. This wasn't like stumbling Ghostface. This was like a well-coordinated double kill.
No, they were a machine. They did, like you said, they practiced. They were good.
That was my favorite kill, I think, of any movie, because the way that they worked together.
It was just smooth. It was very smooth. Yeah, you're right. There's no stumbling. They just were on point for sure.
But that was just the trailer to Stab 6.
So yeah, it zooms out and we're actually with two other girls watching that movie. And I'm like, oh, dude, they got us. But honestly, I was already critiquing. I'm like, dude, what are they doing? I was like, just going outside like that. I was like critiquing. I felt like an idiot. I'm like, it wasn't real.
Well, so there are these two other girls. So it's Kristen Bell and Anne. I don't know, Paquin. She's like they're both famous actresses.
Yeah.
Like, I like Kristen Bell. I think she's funny. Now, these two girls are watching that trailer, right?
Right.
That Anna starts trashing the Stab movie, saying that it's all been done before. They don't have any more elements of surprise, just trashing the movie. Now, I like this part because Kristen Bell's sitting next to her and she pulls out a knife, stabs her in the stomach, and then says,
"Did that surprise you?"
And then she says, now shut the F up and watch the movie.
This totally shocked me. I'm like, what the heck? My mouth dropped. I'm like, what am I watching?
Well, for one, Kristen Bell doesn't seem like a killer type. So that was kind of funny, shocking that she stabbed the other girl. Also, it's like they're playing on what the audience says about the movie.
Yeah.
That it's all played out. We've all seen it before, especially on the intros, And then I do love that the way she basically spoke for them, Kristen Bell did, when she's like, just shut the F up and watch the movie. Yeah. It's stop nitpicking everything, which we're going to do today, and just enjoy it,
Yeah, that was funny. It was good.
So I thought that was a good touch. Even from the meta approach, I thought that was done well. Now, the only thing is that was the trailer to Stab 7.
Yeah, we zoom out again.
Double zoom. Now we're with Marnie and Jenny, okay?
And at this point, I'm like, okay, this has got to be the last one. We've gone too deep.
I could have done a third.
It was good. No, now, just so you guys know, this is real now.
This is real. Okay, so we're with Marnie and Jenny, who, again, were watching the trailer to Stab 7, there was some funny dialogue in there. I'm not going to go through it, but it's like, how does that even make sense? You have the trailer for Stab 6 inside Stab 7.
Yeah, it's too deep.
Because it was a trailer within a trailer.
I can't do it. My brain... I'm tired. Yeah.
Anyways, Jenny ends up hearing a noise upstairs. She goes to investigate, leaves Marnie downstairs when Marnie gets a call from Ghostface.
You saying Marnie?
That's her name, Marnie.
Marnie?
Marnie.
I've never even heard that name.
You don't know people's names.
No, I'm just saying I've never even heard a girl named Marnie.
Oh, well.
Have you?
Her name's Marnie.
Okay, anyways. All right.
Marnie thinks it's Ghostface, but in reality, it's Jenny playing a prank. That's interesting with this movie, too, with the tech changes. Now they have access to apps where you can do the voice face or Ghostface. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that was actually, I think, ahead of its time. Because we're going to get into some vlogging and live streaming.
Oh, yeah, they talk about that. Yeah, no, for sure.
It's way ahead. There's stuff that nowadays you watch and you take it for granted. But when you think about it, it's back then this wasn't really a thing.
Back then it seems stupid. When the guy's got the thing on his glasses and he's live streaming everything, you're like, this is dumb. You don't realize that people do it all the time now. They just hold the phone up.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, but I know. So they have the voice changer app.
Yeah, so anyways, Jenny's playing a prank on Marnie. But as Jenny's laughing away, we start to hear some troubling sounds coming from Marnie. You see, she starts to gargle a little. Well, it sounds like she's getting murdered.
Okay.
Careful,
bro. Careful.
So Jenny goes downstairs thinking Marnie's pranking her, but she figures out it's real when Marnie's body comes flying through the window.
Okay. It flew through the window?
Yeah, Ghostface threw it through the window. Right. Jenny then takes a knife she does take a knife in her back.
But she tries to run away first.
Yeah, she's running. Ghostface catches her, stabs her in the back. Okay, now I do love this touch here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really loved. I think this is chef's kiss. So she's crawling.
No,
We're
I
talking about the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? I don't know.
Well,
now I'm
okay.
like, are we talking about different things?
We are.
I haven't even said a word.
She's crawling away from Ghostface. She ends up getting in the garage. The garage door is open, and she starts crawling, trying to make her way out to the front to the street. Well, she gets right below the garage. Ghostface goes over to the garage door opener, hits the button.
I like the way he hit it, too, because he sees her crawling. He's like, no, let's just hit that button and let the garage shut on her.
Yeah, so the garage door comes down, and I was hoping, I'm like, please do not crush her. Like, don't just like chop her in half.
Because it's stupid. That
It's
doesn't make
stupid
sense.
because we all know the garage door scene that everyone complains about.
Everyone complains about.
Are you kidding me? See, you're not even thinking it this deep.
It's about Tatum?
Tatum.
First of all, why everyone complains about that?
Dude, she got in the dog door. The garage door lifted her up
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of
and
complaints
crunched
about
her
it,
to
but-
death. There's like, see, they wouldn't do that.
No, I agree. I just haven't heard a lot of like,
We complained about it. I guarantee, go back and watch our review. I guarantee we complained about it. So I think this was done well. It like crunched on her back, went up, Ghostface grabs her legs, pulls her back in. Welcome to Scream 4.
he comes down on her consensually.
That was not consensual.
No, it wasn't at all. And that's how they start the intro. Dude, solid intro.
I just
'Cause,
think that's a great touch.
like, we're back to Woodsboro. How better to do it than back with the garage scene?
Like you said, we're back in Woodsboro. And okay, I think it's 15 years since the original murders. So what that basically means is kids hang up some Ghostface like masks and stuff from the streetlights. So it's kind of like decorated cool.
You can imagine if you lived in Woodsboro. I was gonna say you would like it would be like a fun thing to celebrate, but then I'm like, well,
No.
actually, guys, I don't think that would be fun at all.
I'm pretty sure it'd be like a dark thing for the entire town.
Yeah, but they made a bunch of movies about it, so it's kind of fun. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess they did catch the killers. Sydney Prescott is back in town for her book signing, Out of the Darkness. So she's now an author. The cop that she was with from the last movie is not around. So I don't know if that worked out or not.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know that we thought that they were together. Patrick Dempsey is who you're
It
talking
seemed
about.
like they were, but
Yeah, but it was weird that he was even there in the first place.
true. Dewey now is the sheriff of the town, and he's still with Gil, but Gil looks different. I'm just going to say, leave your face alone. Just like grow old with age and enjoy the face. Don't start doing stuff because my eye, like it catches your eye.
It's like that. It's like uncanny thing, right? Where just something looks off.
Yeah, it's like your skin's too perfect. Like have some wrinkles, it's fine. So she's with Dewey now, and their relationship is not really great. Gil's having issues. She has a new book she's trying to write, doesn't even know what to write it on. Basically, she's kind of like lost her purpose because she's not a reporter anymore.
Right.
All right, now we meet our main girls. We have Kirby, who's the punk girl, played by Hayden Panettiere. And she's like basically, I think, the Randy of this movie, like the horror nerd kind of.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Yeah,
She knows everything about horror movies. So.
Yeah, Jill's the cousin of Sidney, who recently got broke up with by Trevor. So Trevor, ex-boyfriend, he's going to be around. Trevor now, well, I'll just say Trevor's the Billy from Scream 1.
Trevor is the most worthless character in the whole movie.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know why they even had him in.
Just a red herring.
But it wasn't even that much because I was pretty certain the whole time that he had nothing to do with anything because
It was too much.
it was too much. But his personality was all over the place.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know what they wanted us to think about him.
I don't know either. Whatever. Then there's Olivia, who's their friend, very short lifespan. We'll just get to that in a minute. All right. So we learned that both Jill and Olivia recently got a call from Ghostface. Both the calls, he did the classic, what's your favorite scary movie line? All right. We meet Dewey's new partner, I guess. I mean, he's a sheriff. He works with this Deputy Hicks, who's like a super fan of Dewey. They play like she's kind of into him. Gail's a little jealous of it, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Did you notice Gil and Dewey? I mean, there's obviously some tension there. They weren't hiding that. I feel like the whole thing was like kind of dark. I feel like they just both weren't that very happy. It was just weird.
Well, I think it mimics true life, my friend.
I know.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't like fun vibes with those two.
Even Dewey seemed worn out.
I mean, he's the sheriff. Heavy burden he carries. So also that Deputy Hicks, she went to high school with Sidney, but Sidney doesn't remember her. So again, they planted some seeds that like, you know, potentially she could be like someone from the past. You know what I mean?
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah. Dewey ends up receiving a phone call from officers at the old Randall house. That's where the opening murders took place. So he's going to go over there and do some investigating. We cut back to Woodsboro High where we meet Robbie, who's got this guy's got the camera mounted to his like head. And it's like a weird little camera thing, but he's going to document his high school experience. So he almost goes around and gets drama from people and everything, you know?
Yeah, he's just an AV kid recording everything.
And we also meet his friend Charlie, and these two are part of like the film club.
Okay, and Charlie is Culkin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Macaulay Culkin's brother, I guess. As soon as I saw him, it looks just like him.
I didn't even notice it until you said it. Then I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Robbie ends up running into the girls. His first line is, "What's your favorite scary movie?" So immediately you're starting to be like, okay, this guy might be Ghostface, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Movie nerd,
sure.
First line. Anyway, just threw it out there.
But it's also a little obvious, so you're like, maybe not.
Trevor ends up showing up. He apologizes to Jill. That's Jill's ex-boyfriend. And the only reason I bring this up is I didn't realize this was a remake, because I'm like, aren't these scenes like from Scream 1?
We can't give it away yet, but it's like, I feel like it was set up by the individual to be a remake, you know, even in the movie. So it's really funny the way they did it.
And the problem is, it's been so long since I watched Scream 1, I kind of forgot about some of it. So Gail, Sidney, and Dewey, they reunite back at Sidney's book club signing. So she's doing her whole signing for a new book.
Yeah, Sydney's on a big book tour, right? And the first stop is Woodsboro. Was it for the anniversary?
I'm sure it was like a PR stunt, you know? So, but the problem is Dewey's not here to really reunite. He's here for a murder investigation.
Yeah.
You see, he went to the killer's house, found that a phone was taken from the scene. They triangulated it back to this book signing. So he calls it up, ends up finding it in the back of Sidney's car with a knife covered in blood.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bloody in there. So already I'm like, all right.
Kind of curious how they got it in there, but
I just thought about that too. Even knowing who the killers are, I'm like, how did they get into her trunk? Crazier things have happened, so sure.
So now what you need to know about Sidney, she's like a soft suspect, which basically that means she can't leave town because the murder weapon was in her car. So this is going to lock her into staying in the movie.
Right.
All right, cut over to the police station. Gil shows up, and now like Dewey's doing an investigation, and Gil really comes off as like super entitled. And honestly, I wasn't into it. Like, she's kind of like thinks she deserves to be part of the investigation. She solved other crimes, but Dewey, for once, kind of stood up to her and is like, no, you're not a part of this.
Of course, you can't be part of the investigation. You're just a civilian. I just didn't like their storyline.
Yeah, neither did I.
I actually felt bad. I'm like, Gail was at the top last time we saw her. You know, she's always like got that energy. This one, she's just like, she's down bad.
Yeah, basically now she starts another Gail villain arc because now she says she's going rogue and gonna like solve these murders herself. Doesn't really do that, but whatever. Now we meet another deputy who's probably my favorite character, Anthony Anderson as Deputy Perkins.
Is he your favorite character? He's not even in it that much.
Yeah, but I think this guy's really funny.
He is funny.
Like even his parts in here, like we're gonna be talking about.
I even enjoyed his last scene.
He's just one. I like him. I like side characters that like they don't have to be in the movie a lot, but they provide a lot.
He's always a good comedic character.
Yeah. So he reveals that Jill and Olivia's phone calls, so that when they got those calls from Ghostface, those were from the killer's phone. So the killer is like coming after him.
Okay.
All right. Now I haven't mentioned it yet, but Sidney has a publicist and her name is Rebecca. And she is very excited about the new murders.
Really trying to like drive her into the suspect category here.
She's kind of like the new Gel.
Kind of.
Maybe
yeah.
she was supposed to be the new Gel.
Yeah, but she wasn't an investigator. She just was a publicist, right?
Yeah, but I mean, she played it like Gel used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just she's kind of like heartless, maybe.
So we jump back over to Jill's house. We meet Jill's mom, Kate, who's Maureen's sister. Doesn't have much of a role in this movie, but she's there.
That was really weird because she did have like the only like meaningful part. She had a line about
she was resentful of Sidney because she was like the sister, but she doesn't get any of the attention.
Yes, which
and that I
may
know
come into play.
They planted the seed. You know what I mean? Like now I'm watching her too.
I know.
Anyways, and this is so Sidney now for this movie, and most of this movie takes place in Jill's house. So Sidney's staying with them while she's like kind of under investigation-ish. They don't really investigate her, but whatever. And what you need to know is there will be cops posted up the whole time outside.
So Sidney and Jill are cousins. Jill's younger. She's in high school. We do know they don't really have much of a relationship. They know of each other, but like distant cousins is what I would call them.
Sidney asks Dewey about him and Gail's relationship.
Right.
So obviously they're having trouble in the movie. Now the interesting thing, so these two actually separated in 2010. This movie was released in 2011. So apparently on the backstory I looked in, during the filming, there was a lot of issues. Like they were having all this fighting behind the scenes. So the divorce came after this wrapped up.
Wow. I wonder if that's why I'm getting that vibe from them. Didn't you get the vibe like they were just both seem kind of down?
Yeah, I think they probably were because they were gonna get divorced.
Oh, that's a
I gotta be honest, and I don't even know these people, obviously, but like I gotta be on Team Dewey.
He's nice.
He just seems like a nice guy. In fact, you know what? I read some more stuff, and it basically seemed like he just wanted to have like a stable, normal relationship, but it sounded like, you know, her being an actress and everything kind of got in the way of them actually like fitting together.
She wouldn't bend for him, huh?
It almost seemed like the movie.
Yeah, like Gail, in the movie, she actually gave it up, but gave up her like career. But in real life, she wasn't willing to budge, huh?
No, I mean, that's what it seemed like. So later that night, Trevor recreates the Billy scene from Scream 1. What I mean by that is he climbs through Jill's window, shows up in there, says a bunch of very like strange things.
Don't you think you'd be a lot safer with me around?
Just stuff where I'm like, okay, this is Billy.
It was just so obviously bad. Like, it's like I knew he wasn't going to be the killer. It was just too obvious. Plus, it's like, it was weird. Jill didn't seem to like him, which kind of makes sense now. But, and then even his character, it's like, he's like, I don't even know what he was going for. But sometimes he seems angry, and sometimes he's kind of funny.
I don't think he was ever really funny.
I feel like at the end, he was kind of like more lighthearted. I just didn't like the character. It was weird. He's not in it hardly at all.
Yeah, he just shows up. I'm just going to throw this out there. The cops, you remember I mentioned there's 2 cops outside of Jill's house. It's Haas and Perkins, all right? They'll be there for the rest of the movie until they're not. All right, so now we have Jill and Kirby. They're in her room watching Shaun of the Dead when Olivia calls. Now, Olivia was going to come to the house, but because the angel of death, Sidney, is there, she's going to her house, which just so happens to be right next door. So now Olivia's talking to Jill on Kirby's phone. Then Trevor calls, and he starts talking to Kirby on Jill's phone.
This part annoyed me, I'm going to be honest, because when Kirby's on the phone with, well, we're going to see Ghostface.
Well, it's Ghostface. It's not Trevor.
Kirby's talking to Ghostface, and then Jill the whole time keeps asking her what's going on, and Kirby's not telling her, and I'm like, dude, will you just tell her that, like, who you're talking to? You know what I'm saying?
You know what would have been perfect? A 3-way call.
Or just, like, put it on speaker, like, here's what's going on here, you know what I'm saying?
So he asks how the movie is.
How's the movie?
What movie?
Shaun of the Dead.
How did you know that?
I didn't like it. I don't know why, but like Shaun of the Dead, like it's when you say it, it doesn't come off scary to me. You know?
That's where he lost you?
I do love that movie, but like, you know, the other movies, like that's how they know he's watching them.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're watching Shaun of the Dead.
You're right. It doesn't have the same tone.
Doesn't have the
as,
same
like,
punch.
What's another movie? Leprechaun? Chucky? You
Chucky,
watching
I'll take
Chucky?
Chucky.
That would have been good, actually. You know what's funny? So when they're doing this call, he's whispering, and I'm like, oh, wait. I thought I was onto something.
Dude, that's why I like these
I'm
movies.
such an idiot.
That's why I like these movies, because you start doing weird stuff where you're paying attention to like things that don't matter.
I think I'm like some sort of investigator. And honestly, sometimes I have to stop because I'm like, dude, I'm not even paying attention to what's going on.
Kirby ends up asking how he knows they're watching Shaun of the Dead, and he says, because I'm standing in the closet. Boom.
Good, yeah. Again, this is the part that drove me nuts, though, because she's like, it's not like she's telling her friend next to her, like, oh, this is Ghostface, and he says he's in our closet. She's just going to the closet on her own.
Yeah, she's not relaying a lot of information here.
So if Ghostface was in the closet, he would have just killed them both, probably. You know what I'm saying? The other girl would have had no idea.
He might still be in the closet.
Yeah, we don't know this yet.
Yeah. Until Kirby goes over the closet doors, rips them open, but it's empty. Then he says,
I never said I was in your closet.
boom. Then he jumps out, stabs Olivia to death. Kirby and Jill are at their window watching this all go down.
Dude, this was brutal. I thought this was really good, too, where they're stuck on their side of the house, looking through the window directly across and seeing their friend just get slaughtered. Pretty good.
Sliced and diced. And like we said, this is more graphic than... There's a lot of blood they show.
Can I talk about what the room looked like?
Oh, dude.
It was Sidney, because
It was like a Manson murder.
Sidney goes up there soon. Dude, blood's sprayed all over the room. That's when I'm like, dude, this thing's different here.
It's different.
I mean, it was like shockingly brutal because you're just not used to seeing that type of gore in these movies.
Sydney isn't just going to stand around because she walked in the room, saw this going down. So she runs over to Olivia's, goes in, sees this murder scene with gruesome. Ghostface ends up calling, and then he just basically tells her he's going to kill her. That's when Jill shows up. She also came over from next door, but it's not just Jill showing up because Ghostface is there as well. He slashes Jill's arm, and then he absolutely gets his ass kicked by Sydney.
Yeah, dude, I'll say this. Like, this is what I liked about this movie. Sydney was just bad. She's a baddie.
I think her like strongest move is that front kick.
Dude, she just beat the heck out of him. And even just the fact that she just runs straight over there, I don't know that it's a good thing to do. You probably shouldn't do this. If you shouldn't have a weapon, but she's just going to go fight Ghostface on her own. And she did really well.
Dude, if you catch Sidney on the stairs and you're running up as Ghostface, you watch out because you're going to get donkey kicked in the face, dude. She will kick the shit out of you.
No, it's good stuff, dude. And that's what annoyed me too. So then, so she does great. Sid, great performance there. But then her little cousin Jill's like irritated with her. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even talk about, Jill's a little bitchy.
Oh, I put at one point, I'm a little ashamed to say this. I put at one point during the movie, I said, I wish she just got stabbed. And I wish she would have just got stabbed and got out of the movie. But you know what's funny? That reaction for her kind of makes sense.
I know.
Makes sense.
I know. All right. So anyways, Ghostface disappears as usual. Now we have just a cast of characters randomly showing up, which again, you're just in your mind watching this. It's like suspect, suspect, suspect. So like Trevor shows up out of nowhere, then Kirby shows up, and then the two cops show up. Like it's like random showing up right after Ghostface disappears, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, no, but we're not going to go into it because it doesn't matter.
Some of it does, some of it doesn't.
Red herring.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we go to the hospital, and the news media has arrived, and so has Gail. Gail meets outside with Charlie, so Charlie and Robbie happen to be there. Those are the two nerdier movie guys. And this is where, Gail wants to work together.
Yeah, this was interesting.
She teams up with him, and even looking back, I don't even really know what they worked together on.
Maybe because they were just doing this live streaming and she wanted to be a part of this now. I don't know.
I think they were documenting it and she wanted to maybe use it for her book. Whatever. Doesn't matter. She teams up with them. After getting released from the hospital, Sidney fires her publicist, Rebecca, who then goes down to the parking garage. Long story short, there's a bunch of car alarms going off. She's in the car. She gets out of the car. She gets stabbed in the stomach, then thrown off the top of the garage.
Yeah, dude. And it was good. And I will say, it is suspenseful. I thought they did a really good job. Definitely had some moments, especially when she gets out of the car and you see her ankles. They had the under the car shot. I'm just like, dude, she's going to get sliced. You know what I'm saying?
We have to kill people. It can't be the main core group, so we got to get rid of some of these
This was honestly
others.
just a throwaway. It was just like, we had to kill someone to make it entertaining, and let's move on.
Yeah. So we cut to the cinema club. Mm-hmm. All right. This is led again by Robbie and Charlie. And we have a lot of attendees here.
Well, and because Gail teamed up with them, in order for them to team up with her, she had to offer Sidney. She said, Sidney will come to your little group. That's how Gail is now in with them, which really doesn't matter that much. But Sidney is there with them now.
Yes. So we also have Kirby, Trevor, and Gail there. All right. So lots of, again, Trevor is at places you're like, why are you even here? I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, is he friends with these people? I don't know.
Are you into horror movies? I don't think so.
He seems angry the whole time. So it's like, okay.
I think the way they play it off is like he's just trying to find Sidney or Jill.
Even Kirby, it's like she's there. I get she's into movies, but she doesn't seem like friends with these people until later. She tries to hook up with one. And I'm like, where'd that come from?
I didn't realize how into horror movies she was till later in the movie. Charlie now explains the killer is missing one component. So they're going over all these killings. They're kind of figuring out what's going on. If you want to be the new version of this killer, you need to be filming the murders. So the next step in the psycho slasher innovation is to film everything in real time, and then you upload it before you get caught. That makes art as immortal as you.
Is Charlie the Culkin kid?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
It's almost like he's giving a lot away right there.
That's what, again, I love about these movies. I've said it before, but it's like when you rewatch it and you notice things you've missed, and it's like, dude, they may be telling you exactly what's happening, and you don't even notice it.
I know.
You could notice, but there's a million things to notice, right? Which one do you think's real and which one's not?
Well, and you're looking at everybody in this crowd. It's like, why are all these people?
You know, it'd be great is if I zoomed us out and we're watching us again. Us talk about the movie. It's like
that would be
Scream 5 review.
Okay.
It was a good idea. It didn't happen.
So what we learned here. So again, we have the two horror movie guys going over the new horror movie remake with new rules. Okay. So first we need to understand why this is a remake. They explain this in the movie. The original stab structure is apparent. Two kids killed in a house while their parents are away. School's hot chick savaged beyond recognition. This is what they said, okay? And where does it go from here? A party, guaranteed third act bloodbath. So we're at the point of the movie where there's got to be the party, and that was like in the first Scream.
Yeah, and it is fun because they're just like telling you where the movie you're watching is going to go.
Yeah, because they just so happen to be putting on the Stabathon.
Yeah, like a 12-hour marathon of, I mean, this is insane, where kids are just getting killed left and right. It's like, hey, let's have a movie where surely someone else is going to die.
Yeah. All right, but they do break down the new rules. I'm going to be honest, they're not as good as the old rules, but we're just going to go over them.
There are still rules, but the rules have changed. The unexpected is the new cliche.
You gotta have an opening sequence that blows the doors off, and the kill's gotta be way more extreme.
Modern audiences get savvy to the rules of the originals, so the reversals become the new standard. The only surefire way to survive a modern horror movie, you pretty much have to be gay.
I thought it was funny, and there's a part of this that comes back that I thought was really funny.
Is it funny, though? Was that even true? When was there a movie where if you're gay, you survived a horror movie?
I don't think it's true.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay.
I don't think that's true at all. I think most horror movies, it's like any deviation from normal gets you killed. So we jump over to Stabathon.
Wait, we're talking about the party now?
Yeah.
All right, well, we gotta talk about the party. It's similar to how the Scream 1 party was, except for this one's like, wow. It's like in a barn, tons of kids everywhere.
It's a pretty cool place. I'm going to be honest. It looked awesome. The only other thing I thought, it's like the seating. You got to just do that in the movie theater because you need a comfortable chair. If you're going through like 7 movies or 5, whatever stabs.
Dude, there's no way on earth that kids are gonna sit around for that long and watch all these movies. Whatever. Anyways, we're at the barn party. That's where we're at.
Yeah, because realistically, that would take so many hours.
Dude, you're lucky to get one movie. You know how it is. People are drinking and stuff.
So Trevor's there. Again, Trevor's everywhere. Kirby shows up there because she's a big horror fan. And Gail is there as well. So Gail goes around the party. She's planting these cameras around, right? I guess it's just for her book to see. Maybe she wants to catch the murders. I don't know, whatever. Robbie and Charlie are like putting this whole show on. So they're giving speeches and everything. Before
Are you going
the
to go
movies.
over their speech stuff?
No.
You don't have to. I thought it was corny.
Who's ready to drink every time someone can't get a cell phone signal?
I'm ready to drink every time someone shuts the refrigerator door, and oh my god, there's that harmless character right behind it. Let's get this Stabathon started!
I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought it was like too much trying to be like Randy's speech.
They don't have the like Stu charisma and stuff. If you have Stu up there talking about like that kind of stuff, or Randy, I don't know why I said Stu, but like Randy, Stu, because those are like big personalities.
No, well, you nailed it. I feel like they were trying to have those personalities. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me be honest. These guys looked like nerdy. I wasn't even that interested in them.
I don't even know if they like horror movies.
Probably not. I don't know. But no, like Randy was nerdy, but Randy was fun. He had that charisma. You want to listen to. Stu was a lot of fun just to hang out with. These two, I'm like, dude, honestly, I just kind of found them annoying. I'm like, all right, get off. Like, it's too much trying to be like the original, and they couldn't do it.
Gail sets up her camera. She goes back to her car and starts monitoring them on her laptop. Now, the problem is those cameras start shutting down one by one. They just start going black.
Well, if you remember, though, this is a throwback to the original, too. You forgot. Gail had a camera in there, remember?
Oh, that's true. That's the great scene.
Yeah.
Where the cameraman, the delay.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's so good. That's probably my favorite scene in Scream. And I like that cameraman, too. Anyways.
I know. I even thought, I'm like, I wish she had a sidekick. But again, I don't feel like her character in this was fun at all. So
yeah, she was a 0 in this one to me.
It's kind of depressing, to be honest.
On the last camera, she saw Ghostface appear right before it went black. People are dressed up like Ghostface in there, but this seems like it could be the real one.
Well, yeah, they shut down. They apparently saw every place she put the cameras, and they shut them down one by one.
Yep. All right. So Gil ends up calling Dewey, lets him know like what's going on, like kind of calls him a little backup there right before she goes inside to turn her cameras back on. Bold move.
People don't seem that concerned with getting stabbed.
Like, people are getting murdered. What I do like about these movies, as soon as people die, they are forgotten about. It doesn't matter if they're your best friend. There's no, like, you don't do a whole lot of dwelling on the past.
Yeah, I almost criticized it because, yeah, Jill and Derby, what's her name?
Kirby.
Jill and Kirby's good friend just died, and Kirby's out partying, and Jill seems unaffected.
Not a tear shed.
Okay, so I was going to crack on it and be like, that's so stupid, but then I'm like, dude, you know what, though? I don't want to see sadness. I enjoy it. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to the party.
Okay, so Gil goes around, turns on her cameras, but then she notices a second set of cameras. There's a camera behind the camera.
Oh, is that meta too?
No, it's just a movie.
But that is how the killer knew where her cameras were because they were watching the whole time.
So just then, Dewey arrives to see Gail's car and her camera feed set up. And on her feed now, because she did turn one of them on, he sees Ghostface sneaking up behind her. All right, so Dewey ends up making it into the party. As soon as he gets in, he sees Ghostface is now on top of Gail, about to stab her, and he fires off a couple rounds. I can't take it anymore. He's a freaking terrible cop. The guy can't shoot. He has 2 shots, and I'm not kidding you. They hit the ceiling.
Here's what I don't like. I've been waiting for Dewey to come out of his shell, and I'm waiting for some redemption. Dewey is awful. I like Dewey. They really make him suck in these movies. He doesn't ever save anyone. He always screws up.
Dude, you're the sheriff. You're an officer you've been an officer for who knows how long, whatever. You can't shoot a gun?
I know. I was annoyed too.
Anyways.
Hey, by the way, that's not the end of this. At the end, he also gets drilled.
Oh, dude, they did him dirty, dude. They did him real dirty. Anyways, Gail ends up, after he misses his shots, Ghostface just stabs her in the shoulder, and then he disappears.
And to be honest, I'm like, yeah, I wish you would have got the heart. I'm over this. I like Gail for what she's brought to the franchise, but in this one, not that interested in it. But she's alive for now.
Basically, what we learn here is the killers are now recording the murders. So, Gail puts it together, the killer's making the movie.
Just like Culkin had said.
Yes.
Macaulay's brother. I don't know his name in the movie. While the party's going on, just so we recap here, Jill and Sidney were at the house. At Jill's house.
Back with Deputy Perkins and Haas, sitting outside of Jill's house, and inside the house is Jill, Sidney, and Kate. Kate's there too. She shows up. The cops are outside, all right? And I love this scene, and we got to discuss the cop rules in a horror movie.
Oh, that's so funny, yeah?
So they're talking, I love this dialogue between them because nobody's ever really thought about it from the cop's perspective.
Dude, that's very true. I don't know that I've heard this before.
Yeah. So one of the cops gives the rules. If it's your last day before retirement, you're going to die.
Absolutely.
In the movie. If you're a rookie, just found out your wife's pregnant, you're going to die. If your partner's better looking than you, you're going to die.
Fair, yeah.
And the only caveat, to being a cop and why it would be good in a movie is if you're Bruce Willis.
Why Bruce Willis?
Funny you should ask. It's because this dude talking played in that Cop Out movie with Bruce Willis a year before.
That's so stupid, but so great. I was going to say, why Bruce Willis as a cop? I mean, I know Die Hard stuff, but...
Yeah. I thought that part was great, but then this next part, I couldn't love this part more. So Perkins now, he decides he's going to go do a perimeter check, and he says, I'll be right back. But then he thinks about what he just said, and he's like, shit, you're not supposed to say that, are you?
And it sounds ridiculous, but he is correct. In this movie, he would have just immediately died.
So I love it because he thought about it, then he's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
So he stays in the car, and this gets better to me too. Because then Haas says, the other cop, he's like, okay, I'll take this check. To which Perkins says, be careful. Which to me is a setup line.
Yeah, so you think that he said it knowing that because he said it, he just put a target on his buddy's back?
Yes, absolutely.
I think you're
when
right.
he said it, it's be careful out there,
Yeah.
That's the last words to death. Because as he walks away, then Perkins says, dead man walking.
Hey, Hoss, be careful.
I'm always careful.
Dead man walking.
He knew he just set him up. That's hilarious.
The other cop ends up walking around, finds an open window, comes back to Perkins, to which he just immediately gets stabbed in the back by Ghostface.
Yeah, Ghostface does a sneak up. Of course, they never hear him. The cops in these movies,
Yeah, and so he stabs the Perkins' partner, and then Perkins gets stabbed in the head.
Well, Perkins, it's like he knows his partner's getting stabbed, and then he just sticks his head out of the window just waiting. And all of a sudden, just waiting, and they went straight in his forehead.
He gets stabbed directly in the head. But he's not done because he's a fighter. He gets out of the car, and he does some shadow boxing.
It was a long time of him just kind of struggling outside the car. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Because you knew there's some sort of punchline coming.
Yeah. And as he collapses, he says, F Bruce Willis. I loved every part of that scene.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
Honestly, it was just fun.
Yeah.
We didn't get to know him. We don't even feel that bad. They knew what they were in for.
So Ghostface ends up calling Sidney now, and they don't know the cops are dead. Basically tells her he's going to go after her family. She then runs up to Jill's room, but she finds a message on Jill's computer where she's been texting with Kirby and has Kirby come to pick her up. So Jill is like, I guess we're assuming she left. Now we get a Ghostface at the front door and the back door.
Boss.
They're at both doors.
Oh, that's right, because Sidney tries to go to out the front door or something. Maybe just trying to go get Jill. Then the aunt and Sidney then run to the back door.
Yeah, they go like back and forth. Anyway, so it's Sidney and Kate, which is Jill's mom.
Yeah.
Sidney's mom's sister.
I know,
too.
dude. The problem is now I'm like trying to work this out. I'm like, how did this all work? But you don't really know the timing of things, though.
Yeah, I haven't thought this through till like of where the killers were at these times, you know?
I guess for the viewer at this point, you do know there's two now.
Yes. So at this point, Kate makes a rookie error after shutting the front door,
Which Ghostface was behind.
She decides to lean against it for a little too long. This results in a knife going in her back.
And she's gone.
And
it doesn't matter at all because we really knew nothing. She apologized to Sidney, which I'm like, you didn't need to do that.
Don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know why you even thought you needed to apologize at all. It made no sense.
No. Right. So Sidney ends up running to the back door where now Deputy Hicks has arrived. Sidney takes her inside, shows her Kate's body, and then she runs and leaves in Kate's car. Yeah. Sidney takes off, leaves the scene.
Well, because you get the vibe, she's skeptical. You don't know who's good and who's bad, right?
But it also plays like Sidney might be murdering people.
You know what's funny? I thought about that. I'm like, what if the twist was it was Sidney the whole time in this one? I mean, I wouldn't like it, but it would be one of like the most shocking twists.
It would be. So now we're at someone's house. I don't know whose house this is.
I think that was Kirby's house.
Okay, so we have Kirby, we have Jill, and we have Charlie and Robbie.
Let's just kind of tell everyone where we're at in this mix here. So the stuff happened at Jill's house. Jill's gone, but Jill's mom definitely got killed there. Back at the where the kids, the stab party, right? That's all broken up because Gail got stabbed. So now everyone's kind of the kids have regrouped in a small group at, I believe, Kirby's house.
Yeah, and just like the main group. So again, it's Kirby, Jill, Charlie, and Robbie right now.
It's funny you say the main group, but again, that's what I'm saying about the cohesiveness of the friend group. You never really got the vibe that any of these people even like each other.
Well, they played with Charlie and Kirby.
As far as liking each other?
Yeah.
But it seemed like Kirby didn't like him until now soon. We're going to find out she did. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
Whatever. I'm just saying I didn't get the grasp that they were friends. So I'm kind of like,
Jill,
why are we all here together?
Jill definitely doesn't seem like a girl that would want to go hang out with these guys. So they're trying to figure out these murders and they're kind of explaining reboots. And they're like, now we're in a reboot. They kind of give the rules, but basically say the things is they're going to one up the original ending.
So it's got to be different.
Yes. So they talk about, they're like, well, in the first one, the Woodsboro murders ended at a party. So the remake, the party's a false ending, new rules. Obviously, in this movie, we already had the party.
Party's gone.
Party's gone.
Did you at this point have an idea on who the killers were?
I think one of them. I'm pretty sure we've kind of given it away, but whatever.
We're not going to tell you
We're
yet.
not going to say it for sure. At this point, Trevor just casually strolls in.
We're so dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Jesus Christ, where'd you come from?
The front door?
This is Jill's ex-boyfriend. Again, he's just here sometimes. He says that Jill apparently texted him to come over. Jill denies texting him. So again, they're like planting it hard that this is the killer. It's not. I'm just going to say that. But anyways, he's here now too. Kirby ends up making a move on Charlie, kissing him, only to have Trevor interrupt the whole thing, sending Charlie storming out of the room. There's a lot of people just like coming in and leaving the room.
Yeah, everyone's breaking apart, sure.
Yeah.
We got to start picking some people out. You guys know.
Well,
we know where this is going.
Let's get to it. Robbie's outside now doing a little vlogging when Ghostface appears, stabs him in the stomach, sends him falling back onto the ground. I think he gets a backstab in there too. But then Robbie explains to the killer. He's like,
You can't, there's rules. I'm gay. If it helps.
I did like this part because even with a mask, you could tell Ghostface didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
He's like, and he turned his head. He's like, huh.
Well, that changes things a little bit.
That part actually did make me laugh.
It was good.
Because they said that was a rule earlier, and then him's like being like, how could you do this?
Well, here's the question. Was he supposed to be gay in the show?
Well, they just didn't say. Like, I guess he is.
I mean, but that is the first time as the audience, you're like, oh, he is gay.
Yeah, but maybe that was him coming out. Is like, he's like, hey.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Which makes it even funny, too. Like,
well, because maybe the guy knew him and was surprised by that.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't think the guy knew, our girl, that he was gay.
That's
so
funny.
He thought he could save him, you know, because it's the rules. Anyways, shortly after this, Sidney shows up to the house.
Well, wait, you didn't say he got killed.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Sidney shows up, but now Trevor's missing. Again, people just go missing. So Trevor's like missing. We don't know where he is.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you're really picking the movie apart, like this makes no sense at all. People are just coming and going. However, because you know what you're in for in this movie and how meta the thing is, it's fun. It's like, oh, this is stupid. I get it. Whatever.
So we have Sidney, Jill, and Kirby in the house, and Ghostface is chasing him. But as soon as he chases, Kirby bells downstairs. And Jill and Sidney go upstairs together. Ghostface chases them. They go into a room. Sidney tells Jill to hide under the bed. As Ghostface breaks in the room, Sidney's now outside on the balcony on the roof. She pretends to tell Jill, like, hey, go get help, to try to trick Ghostface into thinking Jill escaped.
Right.
Okay, so Sidney's on the roof. Ghostface kind of chases her. He kind of disappears for a second. She calls Dewey for help. As soon as she calls Dewey, like, she turns around. Ghostface hits her, knocks her off the roof. Sidney runs back into the house, linking up with Kirby. Those two now are together. Jill is apparently under the bed upstairs still. They go like into the basement, which has like a door on it. I don't know if it's a basement. They're downstairs, it seems like. And that's where we see Charlie coming over to the door covered in blood.
And this is always that moment where it's like, do you let them in?
I know. It's a tough one.
And Sydney's a vet. She's like, do you trust him? If you don't let him in.
All right.
And poor bastard.
So Ghostface knocks him out. And now we have Charlie tied up to a chair. This is Scream 1.
This is the intro of Scream 1, yes. The boyfriend tied up by the pool.
Yes. I need to watch that again, dude. Anyways.
I know, we did the review, but it's been like a year?
It's been a long time, yeah. Okay, so now we have Charlie outside, tied to the chair. Ghostface is on the cell phone with Kirby.
Well, by the way they did that, it was like I don't know if they kept the lights out. It was real quick, and it's just like automatically he's out there, and it wasn't very far from where they were standing. It's like I think you would be able to see what was going on.
Yeah, like they did. It was like a cut, and all of a sudden he's in a chair.
But yeah, we're not gonna nitpick.
Okay, so Kirby and Sidney are inside, but Sidney takes off to go find Jill. So now Kirby's talking to Ghostface. Kirby takes the Ghostface trivia test, and I ask you, can you pass the Ghostface trivia test?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're about to take it.
Oh no.
Jason's weapon.
Machete.
Michael Myers.
Butcher knife.
Leatherface.
Chainsaw.
Krueger.
You know what's funny? She said like dagger fingers, but I don't know, claws.
I could say.
Yeah, I mean, it's
claws.
really nice. It's like sharp metal objects that resemble their finger. You know, it's because he did have that glove. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever, metal fingers, knife fingers.
Name the movie that started the slasher craze. Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, Last House on the Left, or Psycho.
Oh, come on, it's stupid. It's none of them.
But if you had to choose one, because I had a choice here.
I mean, Psycho was first, right?
I think you have to go Psycho with that list.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I've seen Last House on the Left, but I don't remember it.
But it was none of the above. It
spelled
was
Halloween, Halloween.
Whatever.
Idiot.
It was none of the above. It was Peeping Tom 1960, directed by Michael Powell.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, apparently it was the first movie to put the audience in the killer's eyes.
It's pretty cool.
All right, that was just interesting. I like when they threw a little trivia in the movie. So she got that one wrong because it was a trick question. So then he does another one. He goes, name the remake of the groundbreaking movie in which the villain, and I didn't hear anything else to it.
I didn't hear it either. And she just starts like sputtering things off, right?
Yeah, she just names like every horror movie, I guess, that's had like a remake.
Name the remake of the groundbreaking horror movie in which the villain...
Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, Amityville Horror, Last House on the Left, Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
After her name off all these movies, he just like hangs up or something, and she thinks that she won.
Yeah, I mean, that was stupid.
Yeah.
But sure.
Anyway, so she goes over to Charlie.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. As soon as she started untying him, I'm like, this guy's bad. I mean, I already knew it, but I was like, this guy clearly is bad.
So as soon as she unties him, Charlie stands up and stabs her in the stomach.
Kirby, this is making a move.
She made her move on Charlie a little late. He's a little bitter that she didn't like try to get with him earlier.
Dude, you know what's funny though? Because I'm like, this is how sick I am. I'm like, wouldn't he have tried to hook up with her before he killed her? You know what I'm saying? He had a chance.
Bruh.
No. I'm not talking about like in that moment, but earlier. You know how they had the moment
What kind of
where
movie are you trying to watch?
it's true. But you know how they had the moment where they kissed and then that guy blew it for him? But then I forgot that like he actually is pissed off at her.
That was kind of a good part of the Scream, is that Billy was trying to hook up with Sidney, and it made it worse when he turns out to be the killer, you know?
Uh-huh.
So if they would have played that a little up where they end up like getting together, then he turns, you know.
That would have been interesting. Maybe we get a little nudity scene.
Whoa, dude.
No, because they said it. They don't you? I'm referencing earlier in the movie. See, this is meta. They reference in the movie. Maybe a little nudity.
All right,
It's
so
not me.
Charlie,
It's not me.
It's you. Charlie ends up making his way, so he's the killer. He makes his way in the house.
Well, wait,
catches-
what happened to Peyton? Is she dead?
We already said that. She's dead.
You didn't say it because she's not dead. I think she comes back in a future one.
Oh, I thought she was dead. As far as I know, she's dead.
As far as you know in this movie, she's supposed to be dead.
She ain't in the hospital. So Charlie goes in the house, catches Sidney lacking, and ends up getting a knife to her throat. So he's got her by her throat. Of course, she fights away, breaks off of him, runs for the wide open front door. And right before she gets out, Ghostface slips up to the side, saddles in, one might say, stabs her right in the stomach.
Boom. Sidney got caught.
Kind of shocking.
Well, yeah, it's, I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like to see Sidney so vulnerable, because she always is such a fighter. I'm like, it's funny because I don't even like the character. I guess I do like her a lot. I didn't know that how much I enjoyed Sidney being around. Like we said last time, I don't want to watch a whole movie about her, but when she's in her final girl mode, she's cool.
Then Ghostface pulls off the mask. It's Jill.
Boom. Now we have the reveal. So Jill and Charlie were working together the whole time. Now, can I say, when I first suspected Jill, do you have a moment, or was that the shocking one to you?
I don't think I had a moment with her other than her disappearing a bunch.
Yeah, but
I wasn't really even at this point, I was kind of just watching.
Oh, see, I was in detective mode. I was pretty certain it was one of the AV kids. I didn't know Charlie. I didn't know that till the reveal. And obviously when he had the blood on him outside, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's him. But her, because I wrote down a note when she was in the house with Sidney and she was annoyed that the cops were outside. And she's like, she said something about them hanging out. I'm like, why would she say that? I was like, that's such a stupid thing for someone to say when people are trying to kill her. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, this girl totally comes off like a bee the whole time. Not likable at all to me. And that's when I'm like, wait, she's got to be the killer.
I feel like I'm under house arrest.
When she got mad at Sidney, it makes sense because she's jealous of her. Like when she was in the house when her friend got killed.
Yeah.
And then she got slashed. You thought she was mad because she got slashed and it was Sidney's fault. She was mad because Sidney fought back. And she even becoming more of a star. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it all makes sense, guys.
True. That's actually, there's layers on this one.
I figured half of it out.
So anyways, now we have Charlie and we have Jill. These are our killers. So they end up pulling Trevor's body out of the closet, which actually there's a little note on it. He was dressed up. Who was it? Sidney's dad in the first one that was in the closet?
I think so, yeah.
He was wearing the same clothes, I think, as the dad and tied up the exact same way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are we going to explain why they're together?
Yeah, well, kind of, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
They pull Trevor out. He's alive. Jill basically is like, thank you for killing all the people, for me, because they're going to pin the murders on him.
Right.
And then she says, I'm not the girl you should cheat on. Shoots him in the nuts and the head.
Oh, dude, this was crazy. That part shocked me. I'm like, oh my God. This girl's next level crazy, which, I respect. Because the ball shot, that hurts, dude. I don't like to see that happen to anyone. Even my worst enemies don't like it. But then to finish him off with a headshot, I'm like, oh my God.
She's just brutal.
Yeah, just no soul.
So now Charlie breaks a little bit of this down. He says, so Trevor is this generation's Billy Loomis, which we already saw that, although he wasn't a killer. But
Billy. But
they're going to pin the murders on him. So he's going to be Billy now for this generation. And Jill and Charlie, these two killers, are now going to be the innocent Sidney and Randy. So that's how they're seeing this whole thing play out, all right?
Right.
And because they have all these murders on video, they're going to be super famous.
Dude, that'd be crazy to see.
A lot of evidence in there, though.
Bro, I can't stop thinking about it. I'm like, I just think if there was one video of me and I was killing people, I'd be like, dude, there's got to be some way, a reflection where they're going to see me somehow, or some way they're going to figure out something. I'm like, there's way too much video for anyone to ever get away with this.
Yeah, even what you recorded on, maybe there's some way they can look that up and find, where it came from. Maybe you downloaded something on there. I don't even know.
Dude, it's too much. There's no way in any world that would even happen. You know what's another thing that's a little side note here? You have to look past it when Ghostface is chasing people, but sometimes his height, I'm like, because I watch his height because I'm trying to figure this thing out, like a detective over here. It does not fit these two characters. Sometimes he was taller and I'm like, there is no way that's either of them.
I've never looked at his height and even thought about that.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I told you I'm deep.
All right, so now Charlie and Jill, start to play some Billy and Stu. So we have the scene where, of course, there's all these people murdered. They're going to try to be the innocent ones. They got to take some stabs.
It's so cool how they make this like the original. It really is, but there's always a different twist on it that they do.
And it starts right here because Jill, instead of giving him a little shoulder stab, she goes straight for the heart.
Shoulder me, get it up!
What the media really loves, baby, is a soul survivor.
Jill's a savage, dude, and I like it.
To which Sidney says, "You said it, Charlie. Billy and Stu, Trevor and you." So basically, Jill explains Trevor was his partner. Like, the way she's going to pin this now, Trevor is Charlie's partner. Charlie was the idea man. That's how, so she's pinning Trevor and Charlie as the killers.
Okay.
That's the Billy and, Stu.
So the whole time she was just going to set him up.
Yeah.
This girl's a savage.
I know. And she kills him. He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
And then Jill explains a little bit more of her motive. She got tired of hearing about Sidney. Everyone always talks about Sidney. Sidney, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't want to actually kill Sidney, though. She wants to become Sidney. That's her whole thing. She's the new Sidney. With all this video evidence, she'll be more famous than Sidney is.
Yeah, she's the lone survivor. I mean, she has to kill Sidney, though.
Well, that's where she goes and stabs Sidney in the stomach one more time.
Yeah, Sidney just gets yoinked right in the abdomen, yeah. I didn't want to say stomach twice, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, too. It's like, in no world would you just give one stab.
No.
I mean, that's like leaving a lot to chance.
No. I mean, you got to make sure nobody's breathing here.
Yeah, however you want to do that.
Yes. All right, now Jill sets the whole stage to pin it all on Charlie and Trevor. So she's got to set this up.
Dude, I respect this girl.
Dude,
she's crazy.
She's so deep.
But isn't it great, though, watching this?
When her character, once I figured out it was her, I was like, I'm in. She did really good.
Again, she played the role really great. You know, by the way, her name in this show is, what's her first name? Jill Roberts. Her real name is something Roberts. She's the daughter of that one actor. He's in a bunch of bad movies, something Roberts. He was in that karate movie, remember?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Anyways, that's because at first I thought, is this
he's
Julia
gotta
Roberts?
But she's in there somewhere, too.
In there somewhere?
Is she married to that guy or something? Is this her daughter?
It's his daughter.
But who's Julia Roberts to him?
Oh, you're talking about, I think they're brother and sister?
I don't know.
I
know. I can picture the dude. I know who you're talking
about. Look him up?
No.
I don't care. You guys know who he is.
Okay, so now Jill has to, she's got to get some marks on her because she's right now looking pretty fresh for going through all these murders, right? And her dedication, it's impressive.
Yeah, because at first you think she's just going to do maybe just a stab, maybe some, just some light work. No, dude, she goes hard.
Let me tell you what she does. She scratches her face with Trevor's nails. Then she grabs a clump of her hair with Trevor's hands, rips her hair out, goes to the wall. This was a good touch.
God.
With the knife on her and does a knife stab, a knife wall stab.
Jamming her shoulder into the knife, into the wall, as pressure.
Oh, dude. Then she runs into a painting. She's not done yet because she throws her body onto the glass coffee table. Not only throws, she doesn't just fall back. She jumps in the air and slams on it.
It's like WWE style.
Impressive.
Just wrecking herself.
Yeah. Then she lays next to Sidney and waits for the cops to arrive.
Just it's the perfect picture for her. You know what I'm saying? She's got torn up, but she's laying next to her dead cousin. Yeah. She's now the new Sidney.
Yep. All right, we cut to the hospital. Dewey's there with Jill. So he's sitting next to her now in the hospital, and he reveals that Gail is alive and she's doing okay. And that's where Jill wants to write a book with Gail at this point. And she's like, we'll have matching wounds, Which Dewey just listens, okay, cool. But then he also says, but Sidney's also alive in the ICU, to which Jill obviously is like, this is a big problem. Yeah. Anyways, Dewey ends up leaving Jill's room, goes to Gail's. But when he tells Gail she wants to do this book stuff with her because the matching wounds, well, Gail's like, how did she know I got stabbed in the shoulder?
Boom.
Boom. Dewey surprisingly puts this together well.
Dewey the doofus.
Yeah, but he caught on to that pretty quick.
Well, so yeah, because what do you mean caught on her quick? She told him.
So now he takes off to Sidney's room. Jill's already in there. She's attacking Sidney. As soon as Dewey shows up,
God.
He gets beat over the head with a bedpan. Knocked out.
Just destroyed. It's like, dude, you could not be a worse cop.
I feel like they did him so dirty. A portable shitter just hit him in the head with it, knocked him out.
That was bad.
So at this point, Jill takes Dewey's gun. Now Gil and that Deputy Hicks show up. They end up taking cover behind a bed. Now Jill threatens to kill Dewey, shooting him, unless that Deputy Hicks gives Jill the gun. The deputy gives the gun over and gets immediately shot. Don't worry though, it's body armor. She's fine.
You kind of knew as soon as it hit her, it looked different.
Yeah. Then Gil stands up, but she wants one final word with Jill before she takes the shot. And she says,
Clear. Clear?
Clear.
just then Sidney comes behind her with the paddles and electrocutes Jill's head. Zzz, shocks it.
Dude, I loved it. I thought it was good. I had like chills.
So they all like collapse to the ground. Everyone's safe and sound. But you see Jill's not done yet. She grabs a glass shard, stands up, go to stab Sidney, just for Sidney to turn around, just pop her. Cold. Didn't even, no hesitation.
You forgot the first rule of remakes, Jill. Don't f with the original.
Dude, I love it. Sydney's the real final girl, not you, Jill.
All right, let's give our final ratings.
Okay, yeah, I mean, shoot. Dude, I thought they did a really good job. The whole thing was a good movie. Like, the pacing was good. The kills were good. I thought it was scary at times. I liked the twist. I was entertained the whole way through. And I just thought it was so clever the way they did this. Like, surprisingly, for a soft reboot, I mean, honestly, one of the best reboots I've ever seen. Anyways, I'm going to give this I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'd rewatch this in a second. I would call this like a 7.7.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this was like a really fun movie. I think there's a lot of depth, especially knowing the killers now. Because there's stuff like we kind of mentioned that I thought, I was like, I don't know about that scene and stuff, but it makes sense like knowing now who the killers were. I'm just over like we said, I'm over the Gil and Dewey stuff. And to me, like you kind of mentioned, they weren't that exciting in this movie. I mean, Gil's character was rough all the way. And Dewey, too, he wasn't even really around much. When he was, he's always late to the party. He didn't really do anything, whatever. I feel like almost I would have liked more attention even on the kids and like their interactions. Like that's what I liked about Scream 1.
But that, I mean, first of all, when I said the whole cohesiveness of the group, you acted like I was an idiot. Now you're kind of saying the same thing. But you know what I think though? I don't know that this cast was strong enough to like want to carry them along.
Dude, I'm going to be honest. You know what? Like, I don't really care about breaking it down that much. I kind of go back to that opening scene in the trailer. It's like, just shut the F up and watch it. If I just shut the F up and watched it, I really enjoyed watching this movie. And I feel like I could watch it again and enjoy it, like looking at the different parts of it and how it all plays together a little better. I thought it was good. It's an 8.2.
Oh, solid.
I liked it. I thought this was, out of the Scream movies, I would say 1, and then this one's my next favorite.
I have to think about that. I'm not going to sign off on that yet, but
I thought it was good. I thought it was done
solid.
really well. The plot I thought was good. The
Kills
twist was good. Kills were really good. They had good characters, good side characters. Like those cops were great. The meta stuff, it worked in this movie. I just thought it all worked well. I enjoyed it. Yeah. All right, let's get to some trivia. At 4 installments, basically what you need to know, it's one of the only horror movies where the director and the main character stayed along through all of them.
That's awesome.
In the trailers where they were talking about that Stab 5 had time travel, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
they mentioned time travel, which is the worst, they say. Well, Craven had an idea for time travel, but it was in the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Master. Studio rejected it.
Dude, you cannot. To a movie like Nightmare on Elm Street, which is already confusing because you have the dream world, add time travel. I mean, dude, okay, hold on. That could be great, though.
But it's funny that he's making fun of himself,
Yeah,
you know. First Scream movie to not feature a red right hand.
Oh, I love that song, too.
I know, it's a good one.
I don't know why you wouldn't just leave that in. That song, to me, just kind of is like a foundational part of what Scream is.
I agree.
That's only a big mistake. Not only. That's a big mistake you made, Scream 4.
At the 18-minute mark, a bust of Henry Winkler can be seen in the hallway. So that's the Fonz. He was the principal in Scream 1.
Rip Fonz.
R.I.P. Anthony Anderson, that was Perkins, is named for the star of Psycho, Anthony Perkins.
Cool.
Okay, here's an interesting one. For the first time in the franchise, a CGI knife was used. Craven wanted to avoid the whole rubber, cardboard, collapsible prop knives.
Oh, so the knives were CGI'd?
I guess so.
You know what? I want to be like that stupid because I like practical effects. But dude, I don't know, the kills and the knife in this one, I thought it looked really good. I didn't know it was CGI'd.
I thought it all looked good.
All right, good job.
Anyways, that is the end of our Scream 4. Next up is Scream 5. Absolutely no idea what is in it.
Yeah,
Never heard of it, never seen it, nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this, but I've never seen this, and I know I haven't seen any of the future ones, so it's kind of fun, dude. We're going in blind.
Totally blind.
Can't wait to see what it is, because I think people liked them. They must like the last one, the 2022, because they made one again the next year.
I appreciate all you guys. Special thanks to all our members. This is a fun series. I can't wait to do the next one.
And if you liked it, dude, something easy for you to do, just hit the like button.
All right, guys.
Leave a review. We'd love that. Hey, if you want to hang out with us, come to the Afterpod.
Yeah, we're going to right now.
Yeah, all right.
All right,
Hey, see you on
see
the
you
next one.
guys.
Bye.